Let's all take a deep breath in and a breath out. Good morning again, friends, on Zoom and in person. It's wonderful to be together, as it always is. So October 4th is the feast of Saint Francis of Assisi. And this is typically the time of year where Christian denominations celebrate a ritual called the blessing of the animals. Many of you who attended our services last year on Zoom, we did this on last year, and we only did it on Zoom. And then everybody met in the garden behind my house. Many of you were there. It was lovely, and brought your pets, and we had an in-person blessing. And so this year we are fortunate to have Arlene Scala offer us her backyard, her and Donna Ezral's garden. So you could welcome to bring your pets later today to the garden and break bread with us, raise a glass of wine or water, and enjoy each other's beautiful, beloved creatures. So today we will explore the sacred wisdom of our animal companions. These companions may be our pets, they may be the animals in our jumping around or visiting us in our gardens, or they may be the creatures who are around us that we share life with. We UU congregations are seekers of truth and unity. Spiritual lessons may come to us in many ways, including the wisdom found in the natural world. Today we'll focus on 7 wisdom teachings that can impact our lives, that are inspired by our animal companions. But first, let us begin with a story. And this story is called Maya and the Deer. So once upon a time, long, long ago, in a far off land, there was a village, and it was nestled against a mountain forest. And in this land lived a young woman named Maya. And Maya was known for her insatiable curiosity. She wanted to know the mysteries of life. And she often found herself gazing at the streams and forests around her, contemplating this meaning of existence. And one morning, Maya decided to embark on a journey. So she packed up a satchel and filled it with supplies and took her open heart into the wilderness. And as she got deeper and deeper into the forest, she began to notice how the animals call this space their home. The birds sang more beautifully even than in her village. The squirrels played abundantly, dancing and playing tag around the trees, and the butterflies were prolific. But the thing that really impacted her was a lone deer that she saw standing serenely in a lit meadow. So she watched this deer in awe. She watched it move with grace and poise, its eyes reflecting a sense of calm and presence. She approached the creature very cautiously, and to her surprise, it didn't run. It regarded her with a gentle curiosity, as if inviting her to sit and learn its wisdom. So after a course of several days, Maya continued to visit this deer in the clearing. She offered it water and food, and in return, the deer allowed her to sit beside it. And in the stillness of those moments, Maya began to learn spiritual lessons that transcended words. So let us explore what those spiritual lessons might have been that this beautiful deer shared with Maya. Number 1, the interconnectedness of all life. One of the most fundamental spiritual lessons we can learn from animals is the interconnectedness of all existence. We often view ourselves as separate from the animal kingdom, as the dominant species on the earth. But when we take a closer look, we realize that we are just a thread in this tapestry. Animals remind us that we share this world with countless other sentient beings, each with its own purpose. And just as we depend on the delicate balance of nature and animals to play a vital role in our life, we are responsible as well to support them in their efforts and natural existence in supporting ecosystems. Developing an awareness of this interdependence can help us create humility and respect for all living creatures. Number 2, unconditional love and compassion. Our pets in particular demonstrate to us the power of this unconditional love in something, their purest form. My teacher, Diane Burke, my spiritual director from seminary, she used to say, animals are here. She believed that animals were here to teach us unconditional connection, unconditional love, especially our pets. Those of us who have shared our lives with dogs, cats, or other pets can understand the depth that that bond can offer, what that experience could be between us and our pets. These animals love us without judgment and without conditions, and without expecting really anything in return, or maybe a treat, but their loyalty and affection reminds us of the capacity of love. They can inspire us to have more of that in our lives, in all the other places. It can help us to strive to be more understanding and more compassionate towards all beings we connect with, even those other pesky humans. Living in the present moment, that's number 3. Animals live in the present moment. They're not thinking about that conversation they had with a coworker yesterday, or what blank blank did to blank blank, or they're just here, and they're just in the now. And they're content with the simple pleasures of life: a meal, a belly rub, a pet, a nap in the sun. Their ability to be present and grateful is always an opportunity for us to witness and learn. They're not worrying about what's going to happen later today or the next meal. They're just enjoying this moment and this meal. It's a profound lesson for us to observe and reflect. And those of you who might be familiar with this scripture from Matthew 6:25, attributed to Jesus, it said, and shared, "Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life?" Number 4, respect for nature and the environment. Animals live in harmony with nature. Animals don't take more than they need, and they leave very little as waste. In contrast, humans often take way more than we need, leading to inequity between other humans and sentient beings. It often is detrimental to the environment and life on this planet. Just if we witnessed some of the behaviors of how people were during COVID, how people would take more than they needed just to make sure, while somebody else didn't have that toilet paper. Yeah, it's interesting. Number 5, resilience. Animals show us how to survive challenges. Animals adapt to changing environments and overcoming adversity. Their resilience serves as a reminder of that in our own lives, that we can navigate difficulties or challenges and be well, or even at times be stronger. Life's trials can be opportunities for growth, or they could sometimes just be a bump in our road of our life, and it's time to move on. A dog with 3 legs is not any less happy than a dog with 4 legs. They don't sit and mourn their leg. They don't stay in their despair, and they inspire us to continue on in the present moment with love and compassion and gratitude.
Wow.
Number 6, acceptance of the cycles of life. In nature and this planet, everything has cycles. Everything comes, everything goes. There is not a civilization that has gone on for eternity. Even the Sphinx has lost its nose, right? Things will eventually go. They accept the cycles of life, and they even when their cycle is coming naturally to an end, they typically accept it with grace. They know, they understand it. They don't live in that resistance. They model and teach us about not resisting the impermanence of life, and instead valuing and embracing every single moment we have fully.
Wow.
Judy, you're gonna like this one.
Wow.
Number 7, animals. I don't know if this is necessarily a spiritual teaching from them or a spiritual teaching that accompanies animals. So I needed to share this one. Animals are often seen as messengers. Animals as messengers. So throughout history, animals have been seen as messengers from the divine, whether it's the symbolism of the dove in Christianity or the reverence of cows in Hinduism. Animals have played pivotal roles in conveying spiritual messages and blessings. And in many cultures, they are actually the method that our ancestors connect to us through. So it's interesting, I was having a conversation about this. No, I wasn't even having I said I was going to do a service about animals. And I was talking to a bride. I'm going to marry this lovely young woman next week. Her name is Amber. And we were on the phone and we were chatting about her life. And Amber shared a story with me. She shared a story about her grandmother, Carmen, who had come here from Cuba back in 1942 with $10 in her pocket and one goal in mind: to get a divorce. and she succeeded. She created a life here. She got a divorce, and she even ended up raising her grandchildren, many of them, and one of them was Amber. So her grandmother Carmen is the love of her life, is everything to her. Her grandmother transitioned. She passed a few years back. One of the things her grandmother used to do is she used to feed feral cats in her backyard. And when she would want to call them to come and eat, she would yell, "Quiero, quiero." I'm not sure what that means in Spanish, but that's what she did. Anyway, Amber goes on to share that she had gone to the mausoleum to pay respects, visit her grandmother recently. And when she got there, she couldn't find her space, her crypt, or draw. I don't know what do you call that space that somebody is interned in? Where she was interned. Mausoleum, crypt. So she was looking and was completely frustrated. And in her frustration, she started to yell, "Quiero, quiero." And very, very shortly after that, I think she sat there for a few moments, appeared a cat. She followed the cat. The cat led her directly to her grandmother's space, resting space. I promised her. I said, this is all, like Albert Einstein said, you could live life 2 ways. Either everything is a miracle or nothing. I thought it was pretty amazing that I had this conversation with her just 2 days before as I was assembling this. And I had a segment called Animals as Messengers, and here I get this.
Nice, nice.
Now, are these miracles or coincidences? You know, First Nation people consider certain animals as spiritual conduits of their beloved ones who have passed. It's very common. There are certain birds, they often use birds as that animal source, but there's others. And also, when an animal is seen repeatedly, they often explore what is the animal message. They attribute, and I forgot, I have a book on this, all on animal medicine. They call it animal medicine, where they'll find the description of what it is every animal can offer you to learn. I saw a few possums the other day. I never see possums, so I have to look them up. So in closing, I just want to share that I deeply enjoyed exploring and preparing for this topic. And I want to thank you for all for exploring it with me. Animals really can teach us with their grace and presence about the interconnectedness of life, unconditional love, and real presence. And if we pay attention to them, we can better understand our place in the web of existence. And I honestly think we can live more happier and fuller lives just by really paying attention and maybe mirroring it, what they do and how they do it. So as we continue our journey alongside our animal companions, may we open our hearts and minds to the wisdom they offer. And in doing so, may we find a deeper sense of purpose and connection and spirituality in our own lives. May it be so. If you like this video, please like us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click on the bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. Thank you.